So here's the Gorilla Cart, also known as the Solar Cart. And this was the first order of prismatic cells I had made. There's some physical damage to them, but I've switched to all CATL batteries. So these were kind of extra. The other extra thing I had was an extra grow watt inverter and Wi-Fi stick, because since I use them for my solar, if they go out, I can always wheel this cart up and feed everything off this NEMA 1450, which I use to charge my Tesla, which is what I'm going to be doing in this video. I will plug in and see how many kilowatt hours I can get out of this. It's about 27 kilowatt hours of storage. But if any of my solar produces too much, I can actually dump energy into the system to charge it up with this generator socket and cable I bought. So every system I have has a NEMA 1450, so if any overproduce, I can dump it into my car. But now I can also dump it into here, and this whole setup can take over for any of my systems by simply plugging in and providing power through the NEMA 1450. So I have breakers for my solar. There's two PV inputs on this grow watt inverter. I can plug and unplug them there. I have some portable panels too. And I put a Victron shunt in so I can measure it, which I'll be using for this test. Here's my panel. And so what I did was, since you have to service this once in a while, I know you're going to be really impressed that I thought of this, but really this is scrap lumber left over from kitchen remodel. But I put hardy backer on it, so it's cement board. But if ever I have to work on this, I just have to pull out this cable and all the AC stuff detaches, and then all I would have to do is unplug the DC into the bus bar, and I can actually lift this whole system off so I can get to the batteries in case they need balanced or something. So all I did was I just have wood, and then I have separators in there between the batteries and between the wood and the ends. 16S configuration, I compress them a little bit with just ratchet straps. Well, they don't move, but also, I don't know, you get differing opinions whether or not the batteries that grow a couple millimeters when they're completely full and shrink when they're beginning to empty, if that causes harm to the batteries over time. And some argue that you'll get more cycles if you compress them slightly. Others say the housing themselves, the batteries are in, provides any compression it would need. So I turn this on, turn on my power, and begin my test. Zero out the shunt. Maybe. Looking at the camera, I can't find the charge port. And here we go. So here's a smart shunt, and I let it run a little bit, and I already discharged 2.4 kilowatt hours. And then I wanted to see the draw on each of the two 48 volt packs, and they were both around 48, 49 amps. And you can see I had just added about 7 miles of range. So I did end up pulling out 27.2 kilowatt hours, which is really good. The batteries are 280 amp hours, so I think each pack can do just under 14 kilowatt hours, so that's nearly all of it. What I forgot to do was charge my Tesla at 32 amps and see how much amperage was being drawn out of each pack, which ended up being 90 each. So to recap, my Solar Wagon has about 27 kilowatt hours of storage. I have a 12,000 watt grow watt inverter on top. I use a Victron Smart Shunt on this wagon. The batteries came from Alibaba, but the vendor is horrible. I think I have a video. Don't ever buy from this lady. I have a good supplier now, but they were 280 amp hour, and they were just sort of extra, but still about $4,000 worth of batteries. So now I have this portable storage that can back up any of the 3 sites I have on my property. One is the Garage Mahal, completely off the grid solar, my house, and then the solar trailer, which you can see old videos on this channel. So thanks for watching to the end.